Yo, YouTube, what's up? We back at it again, right? Today, I want to talk a little about the Kevin Durant, the Kyrie Irving, and Brooklyn Nets. Everything they got going on during this off season, and everything that has pretty much transpired after Kevin Durant has asked for a trade, right? He's requested a trade from the Brooklyn Nets, and ever since then, it's just been chaos throughout the entire NBA, just about like where is Kyrie Irving going to go? Is he going to be is he going to stay in Brooklyn, or is they going to trade him out? Being as though he wanted a contract extension that they did not give him, and ultimately he wound up signing for and taking the last year on his deal, right? So he got to play through this year before he can get a new contract, unless they decide to give him a new contract sometime during the season, right? With all of the BS going on in Brooklyn, KD, he decides, you know what, I want to trade. Yo, I'm requesting a trade. Get me out of here. I would like to go to the Suns, or I believe it was Miami, right? Only thing about that is, if you want to go to the Suns, they're going to have to give up a couple key players to what's going on over there. And if you take those key players away and then you add Durant, it's probably no longer a championship team. Same thing with Miami. You take a couple key components from over there, they're probably not a championship team. And that pretty much goes for pretty much all of the teams throughout the NBA. If you got to give up some of your key players to get Kevin Durant, then ultimately it seems as though it's not going to really work out, and it's not going to be a championship team in the aftermath. So after you get KD, you would still have to make some more moves just to make it a championship team. No telling how long that's actually going to take. That could take. You could make it happen this year. It could take a year or two, right? But with Kevin Durant being 34 in the beginning of next season, we don't know if he got that type of time, and you know, I don't know. Yeah, we don't know if he got that type of time to wait around for you guys to make the right moves and bring everything together to win a title. KD wants to win a title right now. Kyrie Irving wants to win a title right now, and I believe both of them is trying to put themselves in the best position to do so, right? And the reason what they got going on right now is it seems as though they're creating all of this chaos on purpose, if you ask me. Now, after sitting back and watching for a couple weeks of, you know, them throwing out a lot of trade scenarios, which none of them really make too much sense, I've come to the conclusion that KD and Kyrie Irving, they don't want to go anywhere. They want to stay put exactly where they are, right? And the only reason they're causing all of this chaos, saying that they want trades and saying that they don't want to be a part of the Brooklyn Nets, it's all because they said, since you guys like to talk about it so much, we're going to give you something to talk about, and it's going to be total bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be total bullshit, and that's what they put out there. Like, you know what? All right, y'all want to talk about me so much? KD, I'm requesting a trade. Now talk about that. Now he at the crib just sitting back, kicking back, watching all of the top talking heads of sports on TV talking about him, and he knowing damn well that it's a totally untrue trade request that he put out there. You know what I'm saying? I feel like him and Kyrie just kicking back, laughing at everybody that's on TV and anybody who's talking about, you know, all of these trade scenarios that's never going to happen, because he doesn't really have any value in the trade market. Now, if he was coming out of free agency, that would be a totally different story, because you can go so many different ways about getting him, right? But when you talk about a trade and all that the Brooklyn Nets is asking for in return for KD, it's a trade that is impossible to happen, and it's a trade that'll never work. and they know this. They are totally aware of this, and the only reason that they're doing this is to slow up all of the other teams around the NBA from making moves throughout the offseason that can make them better. Now, just think about it. You got Kevin Durant and you got Kyrie Irving both saying they're unhappy and basically they want to get out of that organization and want to play for another team, right? That's basically the word on the NBA streets, right? So, with that being said, they're just blowing smoke up everybody's ass. You know how? Because, as I already said, they are perfectly content with where they are and they just want to slow up the rest of the NBA. Like the Lakers, for prime example. The Lakers think they're going to be able to get Russell Westbrook out of there and somehow get Kyrie Irving. And apparently they want him to give up like 2 picks. I don't think they want to do that at all. I don't think Brooklyn Nets want to do that at all. They're just acting as if they're, interested. And as long as they're acting interested, the Brooklyn Nets and Kyrie Irving is the best route for the Lakers. So the Lakers are going to continue to try to pursue that trade until they see that Kyrie Irving goes somewhere else, or until Kyrie Irving says, I'm not going anywhere, I'm staying right here, and if I move, then I'm going to retire, right? If I go to LA, then I'm going to retire. That's the only way that LA is going to pull back from off of that trade. And like I said, unless he gets traded to somewhere else. And that's not going to happen. So through this entire summer, the Lakers are going to continuously try to pursue Kyrie Irving, and they're never going to get it. And in the long run, they're just going to be stuck with Russell Westbrook. And then they're going to go into the regular season with Russell Westbrook, still trying to pursue this trade, just being hopeful that things don't work out in Brooklyn. And then, hopefully they're thinking, the trade, who has more momentum, but who has more leverage in the trade. That's what Lakers are hoping for. The Lakers are hoping that they can gain more leverage through the regular season. Hopefully Westbrook plays pretty well. Hopefully Kyrie Irving isn't getting along with the Brooklyn Nets. And then you find yourself in a better position that you are in right now. So, like I said, with all that being said, my whole take on it is KD and Kyrie Irving and Joe Tsai. Everybody over there in the Brooklyn Nets, they just, you know what I'm saying, they just put on a circus act for everybody so everybody can be paying attention to them. And if you're paying attention to them, then that means you're paying less attention to yourself. I think it's a brilliant way to go about things, right? Probably unorthodox, something we probably haven't really seen too much of. But if it gets out that what I'm thinking is true, then I think you'll see more people doing that down the road. But I definitely believe that they just blowing smoke up everybody's ass, and everybody's locked in and engaged in. And like I said, if you're locked in and engaged on what they're doing, then that means you're not paying as much attention to yourself and what everything else is going on around you. And you got a lot of teams thinking, I can get Kevin Durant, when really it's something that really can't happen. You know what I'm saying? You just not focused on the task at hand, and you focus on Kevin Durant. So, brilliant move by both Brooklyn Nets and Kevin Durant, and also Kyrie Irving, and causing all this attention and knowing damn well ain't nothing gonna happen about it. Take.